está chegando e você já sabe o que fazer, né, mula? Se inscreve no nosso canal, compartilha e comenta muito esse vídeo. Esperamos por vocês.
From the wins,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
the losses,
This was not the right pistol to have in this situation.
and the goodbyes.
Probably should have stayed, if I have to be honest.
The past 10 years of CSGO have taken us from bedrooms
Spoilers closed.
to sold-out arenas. But how did this come about? Who drove things forward? And where did this all start?
We all need to stay humans first.
Until Grand Slam, Team Liquid! And we fucking did it in here!
For the past 5 years, I've had the chance to host some of CSGO's most formidable tournaments. In our first film, The Early Years of CSGO, our journey concluded with the undisputed kings of Counter-Strike, Team Astralis. However, as the old saying goes, heavy is the head that wears the crown. And for Astralis, even their reign at the top couldn't last forever.
Welcome to Astralis Nexus. You can just come along. This is a gaming hub that we built after our big success so that people can come and enjoy some of the good moments with us. The most important part of it all is obviously the trophies. This is 2 trophies from 2018, the Face It Major. It's not the prettiest trophy, but yeah, it's a special one. Here we have the Katowice 2019 Major. Down here in the end is the famous Starlight of Berlin trophy. It's the famous trophy that broke when I lifted it. You can actually see the wires hanging out from the bottom from where it broke. So this was the last major win we had together as a team, and probably what you call the end of an era. A lot of pictures. Yeah, a lot of memories.
You can make the argument Astralis is the best team in any esport, no?
I definitely think we can.
And that's it!
They're the best team in Counter-Strike. Definitely the best team in the world. No
It's your kings of Counter-Strike!
This is Astralis!
We wanted to achieve a level where people would talk about it as an Astralis era, and what became was a 2-year journey from both 2018 and 2019, where we kind of was just the team to beat.
The best of all fucking time!
To become number 1 is not the hardest part, but it's staying at the top spot.
We want to have an era.
3 in a row, 4 majors in total. It's not something that's probably gonna happen again, which is crazy to think about. The journey to becoming a close-knit team as we were and a family, it has to have time and personal relations. I think that was a big part of our success, that we were a family basically.
What we always kind of feared and talked about in Astralis, that eventually all the success and all the tournament wins, it will come to an end.
I mean, Astralis changed what esports and Counter-Strike was, like what you guys did.
The way that we worked, the way we anti-stratted, I think everything was just like on another level compared to the other teams. We kept making like goals for ourselves that we wanted to achieve, and when we achieved that, we were like, okay, so what's next? You know, we had to keep making a bigger goal. And in the end, it was actually hard to find like a bigger goal.
Uma boa tarde, senhoras e senhores, né? Fala dele, velho. Nossa, pra chegar do palco até aqui.
We started not being as good as we wanted to be. It was not the same family feeling that we were accustomed to. 2021 was kind of the year that everything fell apart.
We had just lost a game, a tournament that was played online against Fury, I believe, and we played really poor.
Olha aí, ó.
We got destroyed. And
Olha lá, destruídos pela
I
Fúria.
just sat for a minute or two when we were like, and said, guys, I have something to tell you.
And it was really emotional for him, and he said that he didn't have any intentions of renewing his contract.
I was kind of adamant that I needed an environment change. So for me, it was quite natural to look for other teams.
That was probably the last nail in the coffin for the Astralis era, and ultimately the reason why it all ended.
NIP have completed the device designing.
Quem lembra, né?
Colors look good on me, so thank you.
Olá.
So one photo that I have to address with you is this photo, if I can get it up, which is an amazing photo captured.
Yeah. It's like this is a money shot, right?
Yes, of Device drinking of his water bottle, and you, Sonic, and the replacement of Device in Astralis, Lucky, is all looking at him kind of with. How would you describe the look?
We hate you a little bit right now. Not hate you, but like, why did you have to leave? Why did you have to do this to us?
Obviously, they've been through a lot together, and I think this is just going to be a very interesting matchup.
For your Device, this could be extra spicy to win this game.
Because also the thing is, like you said, you experienced all the wins together, but also like he's been a guy who understood you, and you create a connection, which is you're not just teammates.
No, exactly.
And you know, it must be kind of yes, it must be kind of hard to then let go. You know?
It was hard losing obviously a good teammate, but also a good friend in that sense. And I knew that when he transitioned into joining NIP, that now we were also competing against each other, and it was gonna be feeling weird. And I also think that was also what made it really sad for me and also for the team, is all the good things that we had achieved, like all these pictures and all these things. Like we knew that that was actually coming in.
Claver's gone. Sip is going to follow swiftly afterwards here. It's 16-1. NIP absolutely decimating Astralis.
Well, obviously, Nikolai, I know that you have made your decision, and I'm gonna start crying now because it's actually quite emotional.
Oh my god.
I respect everything you've done, and I appreciate all the things we've been through.
Device, Dupree, Claver, all of these guys, you know, they were a band of brothers. They went through all sorts, even getting to the Astralis org, building it themselves, all the trophies, all the accolades, all the excellence.
We are no longer on the same journey, but we are on the same train, and we see each other at tournaments. We've shared everything together, you know.
Do you actually believe that if you would have stayed together and worked things out somehow?
I think that's like the golden question. I think I've been asked that a lot, and I think it's so hard to tell, and it's hard to actually answer, because maybe.
When you look at how it turned out, it's not that it fell completely to the ground, but I don't think it was the best decision for me or NIP in hindsight. Probably should have stayed, if I have to be honest.
Vai transmitir o Major hoje, vamos!
Another thing that I'm really proud of now that I look at all these pictures and when I think back of the whole Astralis era thing, is that the influence and the impact that we had on the Danish community at home in terms of how people saw Counter-Strike all of a sudden. Because it's always been a video game, but it's never been broadcasted on national TV, and it felt like we took the step of making Counter-Strike more like a sport for the people.
A Dinamarca é embaçada, né?
This is the Copenhagen town hall, and I mean, when I first came here, it was to get pancakes with the team after we won our first major, which is a big tradition here in Denmark. You have share pancakes with the Copenhagen mayor to celebrate your victory. they celebrate the Olympic athletes here, the gold medalists in different sports, and I think it was a big part of getting accepted as a sport in Denmark to be invited here.
You come from all over the world, bringing skills that belong to a select few. And along the way, you probably had to explain yourself more than once, convincing people that you were not wasting your time. But now I hope your explaining days are over, because you are sportsmen. You are truly sportsmen.
I think that we've changed the narrative of gaming. First of all, it became acceptable, and now it's maybe trending towards being a little bit more cool. If you go to, not every Dane, but I would say a lot of Danes, and you say, have you heard about Astralis? There's not a lot of people that haven't heard like the word. And I think for me, that's like where I feel it the most.
A funny story about the whole Astralis era and everything. You know, we were kind of expected to win, and when we won, we were like, nah, maybe we should go grab a beer, and then everyone went to bed, and because we have a plane to catch tomorrow, that's usually what happened.
No parties.
We actually didn't party that much.
No.
Like, we should have celebrated a lot more back in Astralis, because there were so many occasions that we could have done it, but we never actually did that much.
It was a cool ride, and it's not over yet. This is hopefully just a part of it, and in CS2 there will be another story written.
So now, I hope you are ready for a ride to the stars. Thank you.
Pode, né? Pode. É o cineminha da tarde.
And as we bid farewell to the kings of Counter-Strike, a new contender began rising. One draped in red, white, and blue.
Ó! É o Elijão! Eu sabia que era o Elijão! Olha o centro de treinamento da Completas, rapaziada. Eu tava lá, ó, nessa foto aí, WSVG 2006. Eu tava lá competindo nesse campeonato aí, que é... E a gente ficou bem, acho que a gente ficou top 6, on this table for sure. Top 8, top 6.
I don't even know which one I would start with. I mean, this one kind of immediately jumps out to me. This is like one of my first like HLTV pictures from like 2015. I'm happy to just be doing this because I was still in high school. I actually had to like get my homework from my teachers before like this tournament. I remember. I'd say the main person that I liked watching back then was Jordan, because I was watching him ever since like 1.6.
Oh, nothing aí, ó.
Jordan had such a cool style.
Jogada da.
I watched all of his frag movies back then, especially like how he was so good at knowing every little thing about the game, and all the wall bangs, and he started being a pro really, really young as well. I think just seeing like other people doing exactly what I wanted to at the time was inspiring for me.
Well, certain players started to come up. This was now the new gen that was spawning from the pickup games and the public servers. I think Reage was a really big asset and a really big part of Liquid's dominance.
This was the squad that did so much. Nick was always on Liquid at the same time as me. We've been through it since 2015, just slowly building like the team and getting better and learning and trying to do as best as we can for a super long time. So he's been there since the beginning. Oh, here's another one of us. As soon as we had Rust, that was like a really, really big piece.
Oh, they have no idea he's here. He sees the gun barrel. He's looking for Olaf. He's got the information on one, and he's worked his way all the way around. An easy kill. Twist, it's magical.
He was just really, really talented. We just owns everybody. In 2018, we were deciding, do we want like another Opper? Ended up deciding on Keith. He was playing really good on Renegades at the time.
Caramba, na Fly Renegades,
so yeah, Keith joined, and I remember we were grinding, losing in like the finals of like everything against Astralis.
When I think of Liquid, it's like We just want them to beat the guys we don't want to face, and then we'll take them out. And that's what happened a lot of the time.
Be moving for a double pick of his teammates, but he can't get there fast enough. 2 versus 1, and that's it. Astralis.
Astralis was just a really difficult team, mainly because of their synergy and structure. It never felt like there was like an easy way to beat them. They were just one of the hardest teams for us.
3 players here, Zipex comes through, Reage is gonna fall at Astralis.
It was definitely a one-sided rivalry. A lot of people wouldn't even call it a rivalry. It was more of a beatdown, I'd say.
They always felt vulnerable to me, and I think also it's one of the teams that I performed the best against.
He's about to get pushed, and Device is gonna get it done.
It was honestly just like a mental hurdle that we just couldn't solve. We couldn't figure out like how to beat them specifically. They had a very similar style and they just did it better.
It is just Naf and Naf alone, and down he goes.
It's not that they respected us too much. For me, it was like they already knew that it was just a matter of time before they would lose.
Astralis, they are your champions.
It was heartbreak after heartbreak. We were making finals, but we weren't able to win against them at all. At the end of 2018, Zeus and Taco, they wanted to remake MIBR, and we were like, okay, who do we get now?
They need a miracle, Team Liquid.
Califórnia, quem tá na Califórnia? Stewie. Olha ele aí.
Man, time flies when I look at these pictures. It's been 10 years since I've been playing this game, and 10 years ago I was the up-and-comer, and I would never think I'd see the day of talking about 10 years ago. Team Liquid. Let me see. I'll go with this one. I think this picture is probably one of my favorite ones from Team Liquid, just because of the jersey. We never wore that jersey again, actually. Team Liquid, before I joined, watching from the outside, they were the second best team in the world. And seeing them be number 2 for so long, I felt like what they were missing is what I can provide. I know that it's a mental barrier. I think that's one of the things I help the most with is just having confidence.
Oh my God. He's got 2 bullets.
So Stewie, he was a little bit unorthodox, but I could relate to that from where I came from 1.6. And he was someone who had the balls to make calls.
Stewie, he's the only one here. First shot is his, second shot is his, bomb is his as well, and he's got another one. Stewie just tears the ball down. It's Stewie.
The way I would describe myself looking back now, definitely arrogant and overconfident.
Stewie, they have to get close to that AW. Oh, he gets down one. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
As soon as we picked up Stu, he just immediately like brought up like that energy.
Is the ultimate. Oh, what?
I believe it was actually our very first event that we won at iBuyPower.
iBuyPower.
We finally make it to what seems to be the most inevitable final, Liquid versus Astralis.
Liquid played against Astralis in 10 best-of-3 or best-of-5 series and lost all 10 of those series. That was the big dark mark against Liquid last year. It's just this Astralis matchup is always the one that haunts them.
We went down to the very last map, and they were up like 7-0.
7-0 start. Yeah, and a pause coming up from what I can only imagine is Liquid here.
And I remember talking in a timeout, 2 rounds, and we were right back in the game.
Area. Oh, but Stewie.
And we started building this comeback.
Some aggression is gonna catch Stewie. Oh, no, he doesn't. A great shot from Stewie.
Era a época da Siga Sauer, rapaziada.
I'm surprised they didn't try to
I think that it was just like the mental unlocking that Stewie was able to bring that helped us get over the hump.
Second one as well. That's it. Naf seals the deal.
A hard 2018 rewarded.
Yeah, and they do it here. They break that curse. They have defeated the Kings. Astralis. Liquid are your iBuyPower Masters champions.
We went on this run of the Liquid era.
They were absolutely just obliterating people.
He's got the perfect angle, X7 on the other side, and he goes.
We were just so confident that we were just gonna win like every tournament.
And Liquid have it, they've got the championship.
The only discussions that we had was just who's gonna get the trophy lift for the next one.
Huh?
It was definitely, to me, the only North American team that dominated for any like era in CSGO.
Liquid are the Pro League Season 9 champions.
This is our Cologne win, one of our best wins ever.
Cologne was considered the cathedral of Counter-Strike because of how hyped the crowd always is and how packed it always is in that tournament.
In the Lanxess Arena, 15,000 people ready for a grand final. If it's RPK that's dropped, they could be in serious trouble. That should do it. There we go. It's Team Liquid, and that's what it means to them.
As soon as we won, Jake like jumps on the table and he's like going crazy, and we were all just so happy to finally make it.
That's just my emotions coming out, and it's almost like everything that you've done to get to this point paying off and not going to waste.
This legacy is permanent. They have done what no one may ever do again until Grand Slam. Team Liquid.
All of like our staff were like coming onto the stage like congratulating us, and we were doing like the whole like ceremony for it, and it felt really awesome.
You've changed around the mentality to become a team that is so confident.
You know, I think their one biggest flaw was having this second place mentality and couldn't get through that. And, you know, they needed someone to show them. They needed someone to help them. And I'm glad I could have been a part of this team and a part of a great journey.
Vote era Liquid, né? Ganhou Grand Slam da Intel, ganhou tudo, né? Talvez só faltou ali o Majorzinho, né?
What we wanted. Okay, we are the best.
Só faltou o Major é duro, mas, né? Grand Slam.
So what do we want to start with? So most special out of all these is definitely the gold bar. Winning the Grand Slam was definitely probably our biggest accomplishment as a team. Got it right after we won Cologne, and it has my name and all the tournaments that we won.
Honestly, only a few could really say they got a Grand Slam and definitely cemented a special place in my heart. So it's something that no price can buy.
Cabeleira estilo, né? Do Stewie, né? Cabeleira estilosa, velho.
With the passing of the torch, we ushered in a new era of Counter-Strike. But Liquid wasn't the only team fighting for the crown.
A Era Heroic? Olha aí, não tinha... Fomos apresentados a Era Heroic? Qual foi a Era Heroic?
In my youth, I was one of those who had a lot of prejudice towards people playing video games. So honestly, I kind of flipped the switch at some point. In Denmark, when someone has a birthday in the class, everyone is chiming in like €2 or something. And it was actually in like 5th grade that my primary class gave me Counter-Strike on a CD, Counter-Strike Source. That's probably the best gift I've ever received, not gonna lie. The formation of Rogue began actually when I was benched in North, and actually went into a lot of TV, Danish TV, for like analyzing the games and stuff like this, and people thought this is it, you know, he's gonna retire, he's gonna stop. And then I had the offer from Heroic, and so that was like the first formation. Then the COVID virus hit the entire world, and it really changed the Counter-Strike landscape.
I regret to inform you, the viewer at home, that the public or in-arena audience, that has been canceled.
Yeah, if you bought tickets to Katowice, if you were hoping to see a wonderful...
Esse dia eu lembro direitinho, velho. Já foi pesado.
Please watch the event on Twitch, watch it online. Spolex closed.
With the Counter-Strike landscape and traveling to tournaments twice, 3 times a month, it changed everything. We could still compete from home, but this is when there was a big shift. Liquid just won the Grand Slam. fell apart. Astralis, 4-time major champions, fell apart. They were used to playing in front of stadiums, and now they have to sit in their own room with the laundry machine activated and going to clean out the dishes and stuff. And there was the rise of the younger teams. This was their time to shine. They got to compete against the best teams, and not only compete, but they took advantage of it. And that gap between the tier 2 and the tier 1 scene just equalized so quickly.
Caden, you can't win Pro League like this! You can't win Pro League like this!
It really did change who was the kings of Counter-Strike.
Well above his years, clearing corners and no! You're an animal! Heroic have done it!
Que isso, velho?
I would describe myself as the kind of leader who is very energetic, very hype, kicking down banners, celebrating when the headset is flying off, you know. And a lot of the speeches I've been giving pre-matches has been getting a lot of attention. Every time I had to do one, like 5 cameras in my face. I don't know, when I watch it back, I'm always like, dude, this guy he's mental, like he's crazy, that's not me. I came from traditional sports. I know that it's important to be respectful towards your coach, to chase every small percentage there is. So for me, eating proper food, sleeping the right way, preparing the same way for every opponent, no matter if it's number 4 or number 34, I don't give a fuck. You do have a higher chance of winning if there's friendship and camaraderie. And if someone says jump, you don't ask why. And this is what we were known for in Heroic. Quick reactions, moving back and forward, no one questioning these kind of things. People think I just want to be friends. Fuck no, I want to be friends because I think it gives us a higher chance of winning the game. From me playing in many different teams with different cultures, this is what I believe gets us a higher chance of winning.
2015, I was on the desk for Cologne, only dreaming about reaching a final. Now we are the champions. Honestly, it's unbelievable. What a road for this team, what a road for me. I'm so speechless, man.
However, the online era was not without controversy. With stadiums closed and competition moved to people's homes, bad actors found opportunities to gain an advantage, even abusing exploits.
Everyone, it's Richard Lewis here again with another video. Probably the biggest story in Counter-Strike of 2020. There has been a cheating scandal, but not the kind you might think. It's not to do with hacks, it's not to do with match fixing or win trading or any of that stuff. This is to do with an exploitation of a bug in the game that enabled coaches to be able to see where people were and basically communicating information and using it to get a competitive advantage.
I just got this message, and it's my coach who was saying like, hey, I've been using this bug, and I'm going to get banned.
Olha o homem aí. Tá empregado, né? Até hoje tá trampando.
Got crazy.
Aí.
In the COVID era, he could be in a position on the map, in like a locked camera, and he would see players moving back and forward. And then he would be, yeah, they like to go be in this situation, like kind of smaller informations.
I've got this game loaded up. It's Heroic
Cara,
versus
a era
Gaules.
da
It's a
Heroic,
match where Hundin for the first 10 rounds had a coach camera, free
junta
camera
era online com esse animal aí roubando, eu não consigo dar crédito à era Heroic.
Talks going around and the kind of feeling you had from your fellow competitors, other people instantly thought that you were to blame and that you were part of it and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Very difficult to handle and definitely affected us for, I mean, a long period of time.
Yeah.
No one was talking about Heroic's achievement.
O Guerri eu não falo, mas não tô falando da era Fúria aí. Tô falando da era Heroic, porra. Que fala, se tivesse a era Fúria e o Guerri tivesse feito o que o Hundin fez, eu estaria falando a mesma coisa, porra.
The thing is, it's like 40 coaches being caught in this. Many of them used it way more than Hundin did. But because we won the biggest trophy of the year, the day before the announcement of this, all eyes is on us. I think it's been very difficult to be accused for these things because it's obviously been very, very serious. And I think especially it's been difficult to see For years, I would say, it was still something that was following us and tracking us when we were playing against other teams, or how fans would interact with us and stuff like this.
Cara, esse rio aí deve estar gelado, hein? Nossa senhora. Os nórdicos têm essa mania aí, né? Essa mania aí, velho.
With the online era behind us, the scene was hungry for the next CSGO
aí, ó,
major.
a era heroic online.
For some, however,
acabou. Foi
this
aquilo
hunt
ali.
for glory would be what defined them.
Nico não ter o Major de CSGO, né, velho? Será que agora vai ter o de CS2?
What do we have here?
A lot of pictures, a lot of memories.
Of course, this one has to be in front of me, the first one. The most Nico picture ever.
Oh.
I still think it's Photoshop.
Yeah. Look at me. This was my first CSGO event. It was actually pretty hard to get to this event because we didn't have money to buy like plane tickets, and we had to take a train for like 20 hours.
No sponsors there, yeah.
Yeah, we had no sponsors. We had to pay everything ourselves. So we barely went to event. We traveled for like 20 hours in the train. This is my first event. Then Mouse came to me, and I was like, no, I'm not up for it. I declined because I was scared. I was like 16 years old. I didn't speak English. And then I told my parents, and my dad was like, if you don't go, I will kill you. So in the end, I couldn't say no. And that's how I got into professional career.
Mouse's buy is going to be torn away from them very, very quickly by Titan. Oh my god, Nico gets 3, 4! Oh my lungs, I don't believe it!
Nico, key men here because they've got big armor, and Nico's putting in more damage. Well, what is that? No! 4 kills!
I mean, FaZe, that was a next chapter for me. You know, back then, their name was the biggest by far. You know, when you mention FaZe, everyone's crazy about it. And I knew that like I was pretty much the only missing piece in their puzzle.
Flash there, Nico finds himself an incredibly blind player and finishes off the...
So I was just very excited to join a team that has so much potential.
This point, if he does it, Eagles. That's
blocks out. Oh my god, Nico! Cast going, chat, I like it.
What? Holy shitballs.
Oh my god, can you explain to me what's this? I can see a lot of pain in this picture.
Yeah. The E-League Boston Major, definitely one of the most painful moments in my career.
Foi o primeiro Major que eu transmiti. Janeiro de 2018.
Watching Cloud9 lift the trophy. We took immediately vacation after this event to calm our heads because this was our event and it just slipped away.
Cara da rapaziada.
Especially now looking back at like if we would have won this event, what would happen if we did? Think we would have a different story. I definitely didn't think like this was, you know, gonna stick with me forever, but I mean, it does, because I still haven't won one, and this was the one that I've been closest to win.
This was actually one of the hardest moments of my career as well. Honestly, I was as a viewer watching it, and I smashed my mouse, I remember.
There was a lot of struggles in FaZe, and I just couldn't take it anymore, and nothing was really going our way, so I just looked into options, and obviously, like you were upcoming back then, you just joined G2, you started playing better and better.
My goal was first when I started playing to try to play with him and to give my best to get on the same level as he is.
Now swung on, Carrigan caught, no bullets. Oh, it's enough though!
My dream was to do everything with Nico and to try helping him lifting trophy.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Primo suporte, né?
Even back
Olha
then,
aí.
like, we started talking like we want to play together at some point, you know, and I always thought that you will come, you know, to join my team, to join FaZe. But things have turned the other way around, so I got the opportunity to join G2.
Humilde, né?
Yeah, I mean, playing with my cousin, I think it's pretty hard to describe. We travel the world together, we fight together, we win together, we lose together. So that's how it is, playing with your cousin.
Pode, né?
Stockholm, are you with us?
First major after COVID, 2021, yeah. The first event back in reality. Everyone was so hungry to like come to an event again. It's actually first event after COVID as well.
First event, first major for me in G2, for you in G2, first major together, like a lot of things first.
I think that this major was really insane. Like watching Nico's form. Nico was having one of his tournaments.
Going into the final against Navi, I knew that like miracle has to happen for us to win. Like, we knew they were the stronger team.
Simple or Nico gets a major. Yeah. That is already the headline right there. It's a brilliant moment in history. It encapsulates a saga that these guys have been on.
Both Simple and Nico are playing their best major in their career. It's going to be absolutely insane.
Simple, you seem so cool, so calm.
Back then, he was definitely the best player in the world. Storyline for both of us at that major, and we knew that one will be happy and one will be sad.
It all comes down to this very moment.
We were underdogs. They had better players overall. There was definitely pressure. Like, I definitely didn't want to lose another final. I think we could feel the nerves.
I think this is all or nothing for G2, frankly. I think if they don't take Ancient, they cannot win this final.
Because you're underdog and you want to surprise the opponent, we punished Big Dem on Ancient. It was a mistake in my opinion.
And that's the end of that. 16 to 11. G2's pick goes the way of an RV nation.
But yeah, we lost that map, we went on Nuke.
Nuke, this is a map that Navi at the moment simply do not lose.
I never lost belief that we could do it.
I mean, it really is the question on everyone's lips. Is this where it ends?
We were up 15-12. We had to force buy some pistols, Deagles, Tech 9s, and we did some 8-pop, I think.
Versus gauge the perfect time. Now it's only, oh my god, Hunter! He kicks open the sight, spots Simple's toes, and oh my god! Electronic core!
And we got good trades on the site. We planted the bomb.
Simple baits it! His leg stuck through the smoke, Simple to save them!
And I think we were left in 2v2, if I'm not mistaken.
Hunter and Nico, how poetic!
Who was with you on 2v2?
It was you.
É agora.
I made a pretty good move, and as I was going up the ladder, I was thinking to myself, like, why do I have the eagle in this moment?
Times it to perfection.
Of course, it had to be Simple.
And it's Simple and bit.
I missed a first shot.
Toma!
Then I know, like, as soon as he turns, he just needs to hit one bullet.
And Simple sitting. No! Disaster! Absolute disaster!
Que tragédia!
No fucking way! No! Que isso, Nico? Puta merda, Nico!
Olha!
That was it! That was the game! That was it! Mirage was one click away!
I remember watching it and I felt so bad for him. As a competitor, you just see that and you're just like, oh no, like that's such a sad thing to happen.
This was not the right pistol to have in this situation. Like, that is the worst pistol to shoot from the back.
Que drama,
Maybe he shot
velho,
a
que
little
drama,
bit too early,
que
but
drama.
you know, that's just what happens.
Only Nico, there's no time! He just has to watch that clock tick down! This is it! Navi!
They could have potentially like brought it to OT and like were able to like win that map, and you know, who knows what could have happened next.
I mean, I should have hit the shot. Like, no matter what, I should have hit the shot. I could have taken more time to shoot. Shit happens.
I think Nico missing on that deagle is obviously something that people talk about forever, you know? Iconic moment for Counter-Strike. Crazy scenes.
And the PTL Nation Stockholm 2021 is Navi!
F, Nico.
You are one of the players where the fans, everyone in the game, they mention you as a player not winning a CSGO major, yet you're one of the greatest players we've had. We think of Boston, we think of Stockholm coming so close. Is there anything you want to say to just close out your journey within CSGO?
There's many angles you can do the Nico never won a major. Like praising him for his individual skill and for how long he's been individually good and been a difference maker on all his teams, and then not to win a major is absurd. I think he probably also needs to look a bit inwards himself and be like, why didn't I win?
Nothing really much. Obviously didn't deserve any of them. Was close. Many chances has slipped away. New chapter starting in CS2, and that's it.
That's what it's all about. Nico, you're a legend. Thank you very much, mate.
But despite the majors, there was still time to lift trophies in CSGO.
Finally, I managed to lift the trophy. I didn't care if it was the last event or whatever. I was just like, I cannot lose another final.
They've done it! Intel Extreme Masters, baby! It's G2!
Yay!
This was the only trophy when I won, like I almost started crying.
Though the majors may have eluded him, Nico's CSGO story ends in glory.
Yeah, like lifting this one was the most emotional I've been in my career. Very, very grateful for that moment.
My parents were for the first time there watching me, and I will always remember that moment. Like, we lifted it together. It will be written in the books that we won the last Cologne and Katowice of CSGO.
The double for G2! I am Katowice! I am Cologne!
I don't want to say that I deserve the major, because if I would have won one, but I had chances to win, and that's what's bothering me, because you can't take the time back. You cannot do it all over again. You cannot do things differently. You just have to live with it and accept it. I'm just sad that the years are just going very fast, so it sucks, but gotta keep believing.
You cannot give up. I will try to help you, and that's what I can promise.
Hunter na Falcons! Caramba, o que o Hunter vai fazer sem o Nico, né, velho? O homem que começou a jogar para ajudar o primo, né?
And with that, Nico's hunt for major glory continues. For others, however, their hunt took almost a decade.
How does that feel in your hands?
To be honest, never back down. Doesn't matter how hard life hits you. I've been benched a few times, came back. All I wanted in my life wanted to make history, that an international team won a major, and we fucking did it in here!
With the scene returning to health and the demand for tournaments at an all-time high, fans began to wonder who would host the next CSGO major.
King!
So then the next major was announced. South America, Brazil, was having their first ever major. It was going to be IEM Rio.
Eita, chegamos! Ó!
Nossa, sensação
chegamos.
De...
Caramba, o pai
saber,
tava grande!
Né, que ia ter o Major no
o
Brasil.
Pai tava grande!
Foi única, assim, né?
Nossa.
Foi especial, tem muitas fotos que mostram, né, um pouquinho do que, né, tudo que muita gente colocou ali de esforço, comunidade de Counter-Strike, a gente ia poder viver no Rio de Janeiro.
Caramba!
When we first heard the announcement, first thing, called family and friends and said, guys, you're going to the major. We're taking you all to the major. That's the first thing we wanted. How many tickets can we get? It's like having the World Cup in your country.
People were not sure what to expect from the Brazilian fans. We knew that on social media, they were very passionate. But were they going to show up in Brazil? Were they going to be there in Rio for the games?
Né, na época a gente não sabia como ia ser, times de futebol do Brasil querendo oferecer seus estádios, falando não, pode fazer aqui.
the city of Rio, we'd go out, everyone's like, yo, you guys are the people from Counter-Strike, right? The city stopped because of you. I think people made a queue around the event days before. The event sold out in seconds, and they even had to have another event added on the side just so that we could accommodate as many people as wanted to go.
Magic really happened when the group stage kicked off, and it was the first major which
Olha
had
a fase de grupo
crowd
aí,
for the group stage
rapaziada.
games, and it was a better atmosphere than some of the biggest events we've had. And that's when the excitement really started to go
Olha,
through
isso
the
é
roof.
fase de grupo, né?
Everyone, every second, every kill, every momentum change in the game, the crowd is roaring. It looked like a football stadium.
Tinha a torcida, tinha a bateria, tinha os cantos, o torcedor, né? Foi caldeirão.
Before our game, Furia was playing against, I think it was Big or something, and the scenes was, I mean, absolutely madness. You were just like, okay, if you're gonna face all Furia at this event, it's gonna be a different beast, because they're gonna have not just a 6th player, but probably a 7th, you know?
We were going to be part of the show. We were gonna help make it.
That's why the stakes were even higher to try and make it to the arena, 360 arena.
Eu acredito que devia ter umas 25 mil, 30 mil pessoas.
Brazilians are passionate. I knew that they make it a memorable event, and it would be a showcase for the esports industry as a whole. Everyone would be looking at this event.
I think there was definitely belief that we could make it deep, that we could go far. We've been in the playoffs of the last 2 or 3 majors in a row, and we always performed good at these tournaments. I think for us it was always a bit dependent on the draw as well. Who are we going to face? Either we were going to play Na'Vi, who we always struggled against, or we were going to play the hometown favorites of Furia.
Olha o prof aí. Olha o prof.
After our generation in 16-17, I think the Furia guys, especially Caserato and Yuri, they are 2 of the next talents that came up after us. So for 19, 20, and 21, 22, those are the names that Brazil produced the most. And Caserato so far, he's being the most nominated player in top 20 rankings in Brazil. He even beat us the other generation.
Team Furia came from a moment in Counter-Strike here in Brazil where the torch was being passed down. We had teams in the beginning, Luminosity and SK, which we kind of led this generation of Counter-Strike when there wasn't anything, and Furia is the turning point of a second generation.
O time da Fúria, assim, juntou muito com o meu começo com as transmissões, né? Então eles estavam ali, né, 2018, começando o caminho deles nos Estados Unidos, nas primeiras ligas, nos primeiros campeonatos, e eu estava percorrendo minhas primeiras transmissões, então eu consegui ver, né, esse comecinho da Fúria no circuito internacional.
They were not really ever a threat to lift the title, but with the way they played this tournament and with the crowd in their back, everyone was fearing them.
This is absolutely metal down here. It's heating up. Olha o Canuto aí, ó. Olha o Canuto.
First, we're at the quarterfinals. We finally made it past the group stages. Now we're into the main arena, the main spectacle, what everyone's waiting for. Furia is the only Brazilian team left, and Na'Vi, the opponents, were probably the tournament favorites at this point.
A equipe da Na'Vi!
They start walking out, Brazilians start booing, of course. Simple, Sasha, what are you doing? Pull up your ear here. That's not what you want to do. You do not want to antagonize the crowd.
Na'Vi take to the stage. If they are not welcome here, you can tell the fight for sure, Glenn. Holy hell, I can't even hear myself breathe right now. I don't want to be Na'Vi right now in this arena.
As you can see, you know, Simple was
maior
taunting
major
the
de
crowd
Counter-Strike
with the
que
ears,
já existiu,
kind of signaling that they were not loud enough.
He's calling him out. He's actually put his hands up to his
Só
ears right now.
He's like, yo, I can't hear you. Really, in the loudest arena that we've had in esports, he can't hear us?
Que uma frase de impacto que ele falava, né, que eu quero ter mais haters para transformar esses haters nos meus fãs.
He wants to be the bad boy. He knew the crowd was going to be against him. He knew that they would boo him, that they would try to destabilize him. So he tried to embrace it. And that just gave Furia the motivation that they needed, that little extra edge. And when they walk in, this crowd, the Brazilian crowd, just yelling for them, going nuts.
Watching the staging, I was there completely packed. And, you know, Brazilians, they like to go loud. They will make sure that you're gonna hear them, you're gonna feel them.
I don't know how these guys are going to play, if this is going to be this loud.
Navi, they are shaking like from that experience.
I have never experienced something like this in my life.
I can't believe this is a Counter-Strike tournament.
And then we go for that tournament. It was a big show.
Serato's going to do it alone. Oh! Denied by some Young. Oh, and Simple's trying to outside the crowd even more.
Os únicos que falam que não foi o maior é quem não esteve lá, velho. É isso.
Simple taunts the crowd. He threw more
Aí
gasoline in
você
the fire.
reflita.
Huge turnaround, going the distance. Simple playing the villain. Everyone hates him right now.
Nossa, quando a nave ganhou o primeiro mapa ali, foi uma sensação um pouco de medo, né? Você fica naquela dúvida, será que a gente é capaz? Será que o sonho acabou? Mas depois as coisas começaram a melhorar.
Map 2 comes around, it's ancient, Furia take now 1-1, everything's tied. It's going to Mirage, traditionally a Brazilian map, but Navi was on all cylinders on this Mirage.
Serato waits with bated breath, they don't know, but Simple makes it look easy.
But Furia, when they go to that T side, amazing calling and amazing individual plays.
Trying to watch the cross, and Serato keeps getting the shot. That's more like it.
And for every kill they got, the crowd just got louder and louder and louder.
Electronic, just turns away.
Furia ended up playing like they were the favorites.
Unsafe saves the day.
They just left Navi without answers.
That's the late game. Oh, he's lost it. No kids.
O último mapa começou tudo a dar tão certo que a gente falou, caramba, não é possível, não é possível.
Navi, towards the end of this match, they were out.
Accept his fate. They've done it. They're going to the semi-finals. This is wild. This is wild.
Ó, aqui, ó. O momento ali, né, da vitória ali, o Cacerato levantando os braços, cada um ali meio que, né, emocionado, comemorando do seu jeito ali com eles e com o torcedor, né? Eu acho que foi as pessoas estando ali fisicamente e tudo, acho que foi um momento, né? Teve a chuva depois para lavar a alma que acabou, a Fúria venceu, a gente já foi para, né, para a parte ali externa da arena, no meio da chuva e se abraçou ali o público. Eu acho que foi um momento que eu vou levar para o resto da vida. Ele parecia que o Brasil tinha vencido não só a nave, mas que o Brasil tinha vencido o Major, né?
It's fathers and daughters crying, brothers and sisters, all the families, all the relatives. No Brazilian team has ever won a tournament in Brazil. And here they are just eliminating the favorites. And now I think they started believing that, hey, this is real. I think we can do this.
From the Simple side, it ended the opposite way, like with a lot of disappointment.
Que era isso, né? Eleito o jogador da década, tinha, né? Ganhou Major, foi MVP do Major, mas eu acho que no fundo ele sabe que um título vai faltar, né? Que é conseguir vencer um campeonato contra uma torcida igual a torcida brasileira.
Mantenho as minhas palavras.
So yeah, the Brazilian fans was cheering for us in the group stage and especially in the quarterfinal. But of course we knew when we saw the bracket that if we're facing Furia, the love is about to switch really, really quick.
We know how these players are like. Cadian is a player, as the captain for Heroic, he always likes to mess with the crowd, rile his opponents, tries to get in their head.
Usually I can be a little bit of a crowd taunter myself as well, but I told the boys that I think we should do the opposite. I think we should try and kill it with kindness.
These two teams remain alive, which is why we're bringing Heroic out on the stage right now.
Esse jogo foi irado também, velho. Esse
Wild
jogo...
scenes, let me tell you.
So when we walked in, we were waving, smiling, giving the heart to the Brazilian fans, just making it that little bit harder for them to really hate us.
A bit of a different approach compared to Simple yesterday. Simple was antagonizing the crowd with, you know, hanging the ears, and Cadian is sending the heart.
There's this song that's still like in my head, like, ooh, vamos, and then they're like drawing their finger through the throat.
There were quite a few chants, not all of them are safe to say here. I can definitely say that.
I think it means something like, we're gonna find you, we're gonna kill you. And some of them look like they were pretty serious about it.
Ain't gonna be no love. Nah, but there's a lot of love. Get ready, it's about to get loud.
It's crazy loud in here. I think it's going to be even louder than we had in the Nami game yesterday, Trace.
And I think it started off amazingly. With the help of the crowd, Furia came out flying.
To be defused! It's over! 16-6!
And they just took map 1 quite convincingly.
Hoje vai ser, né? Hoje não tem nada a ver com o jogo da nave. A gente começou muito bem.
It'd be a lie if I said that the Brazilians weren't starting to believe that, hey, Furia's gonna win it. This is Furia's moment to shine.
Yeah, I think we were definitely still shook. You know, we were not ready.
Now we turn to
Olha lá, esse mapa, rapaziada, essa virada era
depois
aí,
foi para uma Anciente, onde a Heroic ela foi muito bem, começou com uma vantagem muito grande.
There they come, 3 and 4, and it's all fine.
The Heroic are back in a big way.
And I think we were leading like 15-5.
Olha lá, velho.
About to just go into third map, casually close it out.
Que ali a Fúria começou.
Whoa, doesn't get anything done. Okay, well the panic button works.
And round by round, they started 15-6, 15-7.
7th round. Acquired.
15-8.
Trying for the plant. Right on down. Save will save them.
15-9.
All right, one more for the double digits.
Every round was like 2-2, 3-3, super tight situations, and somehow they managed to escape all of them.
As soon as you know it, 15-10.
2 to 5, and he can't quite get it. And we go again.
Things were getting close, 15-11.
Serato, another impactful frag. As they're up to 11.
12.
You gotta get through, Serato.
13.
Oh my goodness.
14.
Serato again and again.
And then they went 10 rounds in a row to make it to 15-15.
Inacreditável, inacreditável. Olha isso, velho, olha isso.
Oh, caramba, velho, vai acontecer.
Isso é o lado de fora, isso é o lado de fora do estádio, porra.
10 straight rounds to go 15-15.
When they went to overtime, I tried to speak in the microphone, and all of my guys were just looking at me like,
só no Brasil.
We can't hear you. I'm like, fuck, it's over. Like, what are we gonna do? We had 10 map points and we couldn't close it. And that's when, you know, panic really settled in.
The pressure is all on Heroic at this point.
They have all the momentum in the world. It's looking really grim at this point. We have to find a solution, and we do. I mean, we calm ourselves down, we make some good plans.
Gets him on the jump. Cadian
A
making the
Fúria
difference
virou,
now.
né?
We had
16
this
a
thing with
15, ainda
overtimes. We
virou.
always stayed composed.
Quick clear from Yavi.
We always managed to keep our feelings in check.
This map hangs in the balance
Olha,
as it's traded out.
17-16, velho.
Gets it 2 on 2.
17-16, 2x2,
Heroic were able
velho.
to close out that overtime.
He's brilliant, and so are Heroic. Holding on.
And we win the overtime. We go on to new.
Cadian now suddenly forgets how to open it. Oh, he's teasing. Cruelty from Cadian.
E depois o último mapa acaba sendo, né, o desastre ali.
And back to turn. Both of them. Gosh, outstanding.
Cadian, captain, these are the moments that he kind of lives for and he shines.
One up Furia, separate from the pack. Cadian. Oh, Cadian finds 3.
And Furia at this point.
Arcadian throws the knockout blow.
Only fitting.
It's over.
He'll take it by force. Heroic.
F.
I mean, there's a photo here of us hugging from winning the Furia game. You can definitely see on Tess's face that he's like, how the F did we manage to overcome this hurdle? They were so close to securing that final.
Ganhou de nós pra não fazer nada, né? Ganhou de nós pra depois ainda perder.
Probably the biggest heartbreak moment in Brazilian Counter-Strike, because it was so close we could taste it. And unfortunately, it's a fumble, but it's one of those fumbles that you're still proud. No one believed Furia would even make it to that semifinal.
Mas eles conseguiram overperformar, né? Eles conseguiram trazer muita sensação, acho que dá muito orgulho. É o que eu falo que o Brasil hoje, ele não depende, a nossa comunidade, ele não depende de título, né? A nossa comunidade, ela depende do amor que a gente tem entre nós da comunidade. Então isso daí, quando eu olho essas fotos assim, o que me vem na cabeça é muito a força da comunidade brasileira.
Até porque, né, se dependesse de título, nós estávamos fodidos, né? Então, depender de amor,
Coming
né?
into the final as a clear favorite, playing outsiders who never really won, I think, any big trophy. We definitely had, I would say, bigger chances of winning. Like, are you gonna get a better chance of winning a major than playing outsiders in the final? Probably not.
One word maybe about outsiders, which will be quite a tricky matchup, right? Because they grind you out.
Yeah, I mean, we usually
Cara, eu
beat
não
them.
sei se vocês estão percebendo. O
Definitely
Major
think
do
we
Rio
struggled
foi
with
tão
playing the Furia
absurdo
game with the
que os
most
caras estão
intense
no
atmosphere
documentário
Counter-Strike has ever seen.
fazendo como se eles
to
estão falando
playing
das
a
eras.
final,
E é
a
como
major
se o
final, the
Major
biggest
do
thing you can
Rio
play as a player,
tivesse uma
and there's
era,
no
tá
crowd.
ligado? A era Major Rio. Só
Nenhum
isso,
outro campeonato
né? Olá.
teve tantos comentários sobre a torcida quanto o Major no Rio de Janeiro, né? E aí os torcedores, eles tinham os seus times favoritos, né? Você não vai torcer com a mesma paixão para um time que você não ama, do mesmo jeito que você torce para um time que é o seu time favorito, né?
The pressure is not as big. The crowd is there. It's gonna be great, but not insanely loud like when you play against Furia.
I mean, I think, honestly, definitely sucks that there wasn't very much of a big crowd towards the final. I think it's very sad. Even though two really great teams, I don't think it was the spectacle that the real major deserved as a final.
So this is the winning moment. And how did that match go? It just never really kicked off, did it?
Second of that bomb. The outsiders prepare to start new celebrations. Finally.
Me desculpa, herói que outsiders, velho. Que final bosta, velho. Me desculpa.
Yeah. I mean, so outsiders lifting the
Jamie,
trophy.
velho.
Obviously, big joy for them.
Champions of IEM Rio 2022.
It's the saddest moment for sure. I mean, no doubt about it. I would have loved to have that. It's brutal. It's competition. Only one team can win, and yeah. What can you say?
And as the confetti falls, so do heroic.
Major Rio era. Foi essa parte do documentário.
But as with all things
Se ligaram,
in
né?
CSGO,
Se ligaram, né?
hard work and dedication eventually pays off.
Making a living for 11 years of Counter-Strike now, I realized that all the hard work that goes into playing in front of the PC, I really do need to activate myself outside of playing. I think it really activates my mind, it's good for my body. In Heroic we used to do many things together.
Rio gelado.
Playing football, going to a comedy show, swimming, the cinema,
Olha
to make
aí.
sure we have that connection
Cara,
and
tinha
camaraderie.
que existir o herói
Everyone
que,
chimed in
o
and believed
herói
that it
que
was going to help
Pedrinho.
inside the game.
O único problema é que eles não ganharam tantos
I expect a
títulos,
lot.
né, velho?
A lot. And I push my teammates
Olha lá.
every fucking day. And I think sometimes when you're young, you're like, oh, this guy's up my ass again. But I also do it because I know this person can become better.
I mean, the first picture out of all these that actually jumps into my mind is also the one that you won in Copenhagen, which is a title that I never managed to win, and one that I really hope to win.
In with the up, and now Robs is dead. They've done it. They've done it. His team to win inside.
O Katia é God, velho. O Katia
I don't think
é
I could
God.
have pictured a better way of kind of coming back from losing the major final. And for us to bounce back so quickly after such a career-defining loss was amazing.
Give it up for your fall finals champions.
O Katia, ele só precisa se reencontrar um pouquinho, né, velho? Eu acho que depois da saída dele da Heroic, né, das coisas que aconteceram,
Lifting the
ele só
trophy on
precisa se
home soil,
reencontrar,
Royal
velho.
Arena, Copenhagen. And now that Blast stopped doing the events in Royal Arena, we will be the only Danish guys then. That's amazing. So if you look at you see the tall white pole, right? So yes. Then to the right there's a little a building that's yeah.
Oh!
With a sign out and everything. So if I ever want to be reminded, I'll see it.
Caramba!
Just
What
a little
is
smile on my cheeky face. I think also a lot of people talk about my mom just running onto the scene.
Made to see.
She just told the security guy like, "It's my son. I need to go in." And he's like, "I can't let you. He's my son. I'm going." And she's just like going through security to go in and give me a hug.
Oh man! Oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah, I think maybe people can see that emotions is something I probably have a little bit from her.
God Kadian, velho. O brasileiro Kadian, né?
And as the game came to a close, with rumors of Valve releasing Counter-Strike 2, this left just one last chance at major glory.
Barri! Oh, Apex!
Whoa. So many nice memories there. Ooh.
Ó. É estranho ver o Apex sem uniforme, né? É estranho.
Many emotions, sadness.
Parece que o Apex só tem a skin com uniforme, ó. Ele de camisa, né?
I started playing CS back in 2007.
Relógio, só falta uma taça de vinho, né, na mesa.
The fun part with me is that I'm not a gamer overall. But the moment I played CS, something happened. It gave me so much good emotion, so much enjoyment that from that moment I didn't stop loving the game. The first big team I think I've watched was back then was called Epsilon in 2008 on Source. We had Shocks, we had RPK, those big CS Source legends. They were big gamers, they were just the best overall. I started to look at and to see I wanted to do as good as them. Oh yeah. I think that young entry fragger Apex from 2013-12 was just really fearless, trying to be the best teammate possible, trying to be the best version of myself. The role of entry fragger was like seen as a really brain dead role.
I've got to be ready and waiting, and while there we
I took it because no one else wanted to do it, and I was good at it.
Shroud still partially blind when Apex goes for the push, and those two players just going to line right up.
Apex is on site here, but he's going to get surrounded by three. Gets two in a row. Oh my word! That is absolutely brilliant from Apex.
Back then we were dominating the world with a French team. We had like 2 teams in the top 5. We had a golden generation.
So what was the problem then, why no team could stay together, really?
Well, I think we couldn't stay together, but we always went back to each other. We had like so many friend shuffle. It was like just a comedy at some point. Too many personalities, big egos, and players had the power to kick players.
You know, our C9 team, there was a lot of friction between all of us. Stewie and Automatic, me and Stewie, Stewie, Automatic, me.
We had arguments, but that's how it goes. It's not always rainbows and sunshines.
People, they didn't like that guy and they wanted to kick that guy. And it's really hard to keep everyone together.
There was a lot of friendship with the guys in Heroic. From people that I played with, definitely some of the closest connections.
Stound and Jabby initiated a push to replace Cadian.
Heroic are also alleging that the duo backstabbed them.
Yabi and Staven are signing contracts with Astralis.
Stabby and Yawn.
Both are, it's really stuck now, isn't it? There is a little bit of stabby going on here.
What is friends within a competitive environment? Like, what is friends?
I think the biggest controversy we had some big fights, of course. This Shocks and BK Mania was, they were not friends at all.
That guy is not a secret, you know. There's having a lot of difficulties outside the server. He's only there to win, no matter what. He's not here to make friends, he's here to win.
I remember in the G2 Super Team, I think they never communicate with each other, never, in a year and a half or something. But back then that was normal.
Back then we didn't have like a physical coach, mental coach, we didn't have anything. We only have like our teammates and us. And if we have to punch each other, we're gonna punch each other. Like, we need to figure it out.
We decided to cut FNX after a certain time because his focus wasn't really there.
É o que era, né? Que era?
Papa puta que tipo.
Eita, ele, caralho!
We had roster changes. We still had problems inside the team.
Mano, a gente tava indo pro Major de Paris. O que aconteceu, não é? Pra onde o documentário foi? Eu tava pronto pra ver o Major de Paris.
Was I the problem? What gave me a little bit of redemption was just like the team kind of collapsed afterward.
After this tournament, it kind of felt like other people weren't on the same page as me. And eventually, I did jump ship.
Shocks tried to agile, NBK tried to agile. I feel it's crazy.
We are not talking to each other for years now. Like, he knows and I know we're never gonna be friends. That's it.
Do nada, né? Do nada.
Yeah, that picture. That's pretty fun. That's probably how we can describe the WrestleMania. Beginning of 2018, I wanted to create something from scratch. I was really looking to represent also a French organization, so that's how Vitality got created. We had like those really legendary and like an experienced player with APK, me, but then the new generation with Zaiwu. First time I see that young prospect Zaiwu was probably back in 17 or 18. And I saw like a young, chubby guy, really shy, 17 years old. And I see that young guy destroying everyone, like being so good. Dominating the best player of the game, the best player ever.
Got 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Oh my God, Zaiwu!
When I was watching that guy, I could feel something different. Just the feeling in you about everything.
How's that trading?
The problem is, after Zaiwu, we didn't have like that many players. French scene was over. So I think in a lot of aspects, it was the right moment for Vitality to move on and go international.
It's been 3 years we worked together with this team, and personally, it's something special to leave such people like Remy, like Extase. Yeah, that's it.
Dan, thank you. Look after yourself.
An incredibly emotional time for Apex, being the pioneer, the in-game leader of this roster, and now the rumors are saying, you know, a lot of these members are going to be departing from this squad that he has handcrafted himself.
What happened in Vitality? He became an in-game leader, he grew.
Starting the IGLing was not the easiest. I think, to be honest, 99% of people thought it was shit. When everyone thinks you are dumb, I was trying to go in my memory and think about what kind of leader I wanted to be. So many players tried to be agile. So many tried. How many succeed? Not a lot. But I was in my bed. I was thinking about CS and I couldn't sleep. My brain was still working for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, I was like, I had like 3 hours sleep. I couldn't sleep. 2022 started. Well, we picked up multiple major champions with Magisk, Dupree, and Zonic. But yeah, the results were not really convincing at all. The 4 biggest tournaments we had, losing group stage in Katowice, losing in group stage in Antwerp, losing in group stage of Cologne, losing in group stage of Rio. So 4 big tournaments, 4 group stage exits.
Jogando tão bem, né? Falando inglês.
Really devastating. We had like so much struggle to understand each other. At some point I was like, I have no idea. I have no idea what to do. No fucking idea. I can tell you, we had so many hard moments, so many fights, so many crazy fucking shit.
Le Blast TV Major Counter-Strike se tiendra à Paris.
Agora
when you find out that the last CSGO Major will be held in Paris, it was so much hype for us. The opportunity to be able to win on your home soil, well, the pressure was really high. The only French organization represented at the major, plus only 2 French players. I will change any of those majors for the Paris major. The last came up and said, what's the goal for Paris? And I remember after such a terrible year in 2022, Magisk and Dupree come and say, I think a quarter would be a good result. And at some point I'm like, guys, okay, I'm gonna play a major in my country, and you want me to have a goal to play in the quarters? I can't do that. Guys, I can't do that. So I told them, no, it's the win or nothing. We're gonna go to Paris to win it. No semi, no quarter, no whatever.
Tem que ir aí, ó. É o que eu falo pra vocês, velho. É o que eu falo pra vocês.
And I could see that, okay, everything is started. The hype gets crazy. We had like 2 steps. The first one that we had to do was qualifying for the arena. No way, all those fucking 15,000 French people came to watch us. No way we could not qualify. So I remember that during group stage I had so much pressure.
It's now Dupree's on the hunt as well, Apex.
I told the guys that when we finished, thank you guys. That was crazy for me. Like, I never felt that much pressure in my life. Never, ever. After like 16 years of CS, was the most pressure they ever had. We're playing on home soil and all of those things. The fans are waiting for us, so that was a lot of pressure, but we handled it pretty well, so I'm just really happy right now. When we start the quarters, we know we play into the bridge. Like, no one expected into the bridge to go to the playoff. We beat them 2-0. And then I remember we were expecting to play with Liquid because they were playing Apex. What happened? We played the Apex.
It's on and now they're pushing it!
On the other side, you have this young gamer legend led by Suri. What this young team is doing is crazy. And I told the guys, we can't underestimate them, but don't overestimate them either. We are the best team there. So if we play our A game, they have no chance. We're gonna win. When we first entered in the arena, 15,000 screaming, supporting you. All the feeling I had there was just crazy. I remember in the Blast presentation when everything came up, like the screen, like and I see the French, and I see everyone cheering for us. Everyone is singing the anthem, I'm singing with them, and I feel like all the emotion, and I want to start to cry. And everything is just, it's mind-blowing. I'm not gonna leave this place without the trophy.
Apex, legendary French entry fragger turned in-game leader, to be rewarded with the most prestigious prizes in CSGO. But it has to be now.
No, it starts.
CSGO came to France for its final farewell. C'est votre major, c'est votre moment pour la scène de Counter-Strike. Allez, allez, allez!
The first map, we won 16-6. But then, yeah, Nuke went back and forth.
For the taking!
We could have won way more round on our T side, and then we come back on the city, winning round after round, reading them perfectly.
Keon's back and down! It is Vitality with a 1-round.
In the arena, you received more and more hype, more and more cheering. And I really remember that last round.
And 1 round away.
Zawu was playing under with Yo, he kills one.
Of Lance. Whoever.
And then I killed 2.
But they turn back because they're so afraid. And then they won.
and then Zaiwu kills one more. And we 5v1. And then I remember running from the lockers on Nuke to the blue, and I'm just waiting for the last kill.
The only two Frenchmen to take it in a major on French soil.
Zaiwu kills the last one.
Vitality show! It's a full house from the French! No holdback!
Aí, né? Respect.
I remember taking off my headset, my inners, putting my glasses up and crying. Me, I'm like that for 10-15 seconds. And then I go to everyone and we celebrate.
Your Blast TV Paris Major Champions! Team Vitality!
I wish I could go back there at that moment and live this again. It's not only winning a major for us, it's not just winning the major, it's winning in our country, in front of our families and all the people that have been cheering for us for a long time. Well, it gets me emotional actually. My mom is really the person I look up for. She is the person that raised me alone. She done so much for me. We went through hard things together, but now look at that.
Pode, né? Olha aí, o cara com a camisa da Fúria ali atrás, né?
It's poetic in Paris. How does it feel?
I don't know how to describe right now. It's so much joy. You know, I've been criticized from day one being in game leader, but now I win a fucking major, so fuck you. Well, that was crazy. Just being able to win it there in the capital, in one of the most iconic places also in Paris. You don't have many chances to play there, so. But we had a lot to prove, but we fucking did it.
God Apex, velho. God Apex também, mano. Pô, tá acabando, velho. Tá acabando. CSGO era. Tá acabando.
And so, Vitality rose to claim the final CSGO major. But there was still one question on everyone's mind. Who was the greatest of all time?
Greatest of all time? Greatest of all time. CSGO 1.6, like whole counter. We're talking
Kerrigan!
Kerrigan!
Who do you think is the best player in global offensive?
I mean, for me, I think that Simple is the one for me.
I think if you don't say Simple when you talk about the greatest of all time, you're probably wrong.
This guy obviously comes up for everybody, right? We're talking Simple.
Simple, probably the best player in the world, all time.
Best player in the world for a long period of time. I mean, everyone knows who that man is.
You have the pro players, you have the people that are a little bit above the pro players, and then you have Simple, in my opinion.
Like in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, no doubt in my mind, this guy is the greatest of all time.
First found, Twist aggressing. They have to double peek. He's getting his shot. He's hitting another one. Simple. No, Simple. That's unbelievable.
We have players that are matching his numbers right now. For example, Zaiwu.
Zaiwu, he's a star.
He gets himself into a little bit of cover too. Zaiwu, no way.
Oh, Zaiwu. He's for sure like one of the best players that ever touched the games. There is no doubt about that. He just wants to have fun like a kid, you know.
With Zaiwu, he's already a superstar, I think. I mean, he has won already the trophies that I have been hunting for 10 years, right?
We had this big rivalry between Zaiwu and Simple.
Smoking finally. I don't like to say like I'm above Simple or whatever.
You don't actually think Zaiwu's better than you?
No, I don't think so.
For 4 years we had Zaiwu being 1, Simple being 2, Simple being 1, Zaiwu being 2. It's like a Messi-Ronaldo discussion.
Zaiwu, if you would maybe have given him a few more years in CSGO, he could be a contender.
I think Zaiwu has the highest skill team.
Okay.
But I think Simple has been doing it for longer.
Simple has done it for way longer.
I feel like Zaiwu doesn't have that killer mentality that Simple has, and maybe that's what separates them from being the best.
Now, was Simple the only person that ever defined the game or was the best in the world? No, obviously not. Starting with Get Right in my mind.
Talking about all time, my mind is more going towards like players like Forrest or Get Right.
If we're talking greatest of all time, in my mind, I have to give it to him. Get Right.
To find Guardian, or does he? Because Guardian oh my!
And I'm not biased here.
He said Get Right. Like, but that's gotta be like as a whole. Because in global offensive, no way you can say Get Right.
Ranked number 1.6, won the major. Like, so his track record is kind of matched.
Forrest was always just so on point as well.
I think I would probably go and rate Forrest above Get Right.
And he's got the C set out, goes for more, takes the free. He's ready with the ult, he scopes through, he knifes him, oh my god!
I'm a Forrest fan, but so it's fine.
Looks so crisp when he's aiming at.
I think he's a great person, so.
Am I the greatest of all time? That's so hard to imagine yourself. I was good. I mean, I was really good. No doubt about it.
Nico, probably best rifler, pure rifler of all time.
Nico is the best player I've ever played with.
Aggressive on A main. Oh my god. That's gonna cost him Nico.
Nico, probably the best rifler there was, right?
Device.
For me, Device, he was so good at like low risk, high reward Device. Always played the good percentages.
And that has to feel a little bit going out middle of the air to take down Alex, and now they're pushing. Oh, you're gonna be kidding!
Device. He was one of the biggest reasons for us winning a lot of things.
coldzera.
The impact that he had, it was annoying to play against, to say the least.
Oh, coldzera! The man, the myth, the beast!
coldzera's jump. Oh.
Down there is Cold. Oh, what? Jumpy double!
I think it's so ridiculous.
coldzera, best Brazilian player to ever touch the game. 2 times #1 in the world. Won so many titles.
What do you rate the best? Like, is it how many medals you get, how many tournaments you win, how many trophies, or is it going to be considered you like primarily only stats?
The GOAT for me is being the best for the longest. So I think Simple has to be the first.
I mean, Simple, man, he just like, I think most people would agree.
I don't think there's a question about it. I think Simple, no one can come close to him when it comes to consistency and being a superstar for that long.
I'm gonna agree with you that I think Simple is also gonna be the GOAT, even though that I've been playing with both Device and SALVEEEE.
I had Get Right, but what he's done is gonna be hard for anybody to reach again.
See double smokes in the same place there. Simple just jumping casually into the side. He's gonna fall down again. What is this clutch from Simple? Are you serious? What is that? You can't do that, Simple. That's not allowed. This is not FPL. This is a major.
And with everything that happened with Simple and their team and their country and all this stuff, to still be that guy and still be the #1 player, you have to be so demanding of yourself and never lose the passion for the game. So I have great respect for Simple, and I think he's the greatest of all time.
Okay, hello guys. My whole career I played with Ukrainian players, I played with Russian players, and I played with American players. We win together and we lose together. And all of us want peace for Ukraine and for whole world. And all of us need to show example on this tournament for whole world. We need to stay together as a unit with our fans, with our friends, with everyone who's gonna watch this tournament. And we all need to stay humans first. So thank you everyone who came. I hope you will enjoy this tournament.
O GOAT, né? O GOAT. E agora? Agora acabou.
So how does this story end?
Agora acabou. Agora acabou. Ah!
After a decade, we bid farewell to the beautiful game CSGO. But as one door closes, another one opens. And now all that is left is to sit back, relax, and see where the next 10 years will take us.
Tá aí,
For
tá
me,
aí.
Counter-Strike's beauty comes from the teamwork, different cultures coming together. But for me, Counter-Strike, most of all, is family. It's a passion shared with your friends, and it's never perfect, but it's beautiful.
I think the most beautiful thing about Counter-Strike is how it brings a group of people together. Being able to see all parts of the world, all kinds of people, all different cultures. The ability to play in front of an arena, just having people chant your name. It's crazy. I never asked for it, I never looked for it, and the fact that I got to have it, I mean, I'll cherish it for the rest of my life.
CSGO has definitely given me everything in my life. I've had to grow so much as a person, more extroverted. I have to come out of my shell a little bit more because I was always like a quiet kid. I wouldn't really want to go, play ball out in the playground or anything like that. So I've had to really get out there, just having to change. So yeah, I'm very thankful and grateful for Counter-Strike.
Just the energy at these events, it's something memorable. I remember the first time I took my mom. My mom is 75. My mom got it. She was able to follow and to cheer, and now she watches it more than me. So I think it's beautiful because of that. I think it's beautiful because it's self-made. Tournament organizers started by themselves. The teams started themselves. The community paid for each other. The community supports each other. It evolves organically and naturally because it's good. It's entertaining and it's fun.
Oh, então tem muita coisa aqui de carinho, de lembrança, né, do CS 1.6, do CSGO. Para mim, acho que o momento específico que mudou o trajeto da jornada foi quando, com uma webcam, um computador, mas tinha esse sonho de dividir, de fazer o dia de alguém melhor. Eu acho que foi muito especial essa trajetória.
What's not beautiful about CS? I mean, it's the greatest game in the world. The kind of balance between you have to win as a team, but individuals can really make a difference, All the decision making, all the mind games. I think it's really a game where people are always trying to improve that 1%. When I started to play, I made a lot of friends who, if I just saw them in real life, I would be like, maybe we don't have much in common. But you don't judge people of how they look or where they're from, or, you judge them off, can I have a good time with this guy? Can I play some games with this guy? I don't know, Counter-Strike has given me 20,000 hours of fun. And maybe 20,000 more.
I think with Counter-Strike, you always got a living present. It doesn't matter what you achieved before, what you won, what you lost. I believe it's everything, that this is all learning experience, and that one day I could share this experience with the younger players.
We ended the chapter of CSGO, but a new one open, a new book open, and I'm ready for that. With PS2, the grind still goes on.
The grind has never stopped, but the grind is even harder now.
So you're not done yet?
No, definitely not done yet.
Oh, of course not. Definitely not done yet.
I feel like I'm not done. I'm not close to being done.
I know my capabilities. I know what I can do within the right team. And I'm 100% confident that if I want to chase it, I will get it.
Yeah!
Memories. Counter-Strike is full of them. From the wins, the losses, and the goodbyes.
But how did this come about?
Who drove things forward? And where did this all start?
God, hein? Goodbye, CSGO, que o CS2 seja tão abençoado quanto, Que beleza, velho, tá aí. God documentário, velho, tá aí, ó. Que beleza, Espero que vocês tenham gostado. Produção aí muito boa, Produção gigante. Documentário muito bem feito que conta aí, né, um pouco, são muitas histórias, muitas coisas aí, né, que o CS pode nos proporcionar, e aí teve o retrato aí de uma boa parte dela, né? É isso, velho, é isso.